Hey, good people, good people, good people. I know it's late. It's only 10 o'clock, which is 11 o'clock my time, Eastern. Y'all, what's going on? What's going on? So, things are steadily getting interesting and more interesting every day as we speak. So, let's get straight to the point. It's too late at night to be playing games. So, we have a situation right now where North Korea says deal between Putin and Kim requires immediate military assistance in event of war. So we got a situation right now where Putin and Kim Jong Un are now building an alliance. The U.S. is very concerned about this move. U.S. is very, very concerned with this move right here. You got two, not to mention they're going over into Vietnam and building an alliance with the new president in Vietnam. So literally, what Putin is doing is going from country to country that has a beef with the West and building alliances with them. Y'all see what's going on? He not fight. He let the U.S. do whatever they're gonna do, and while he's doing it, or the West rather, he's building consistent alliances with everybody. So the biggest alliance right now that has them concerned is the Russia and North Korea alliance. So let me share my screen real quick. We're gonna get straight to business. Oh, fair use. Let me read my disclaimer. Hold on. I almost forgot. Almost forgot. Almost forgot. Here we go. Let me hurry up and read this. All right. Let me stop sharing for a second. All right. Where is it? Here we go. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, new reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All right, we've done that. Let me put that little ticker down there. Now we can get started.
Find your purpose. Find your home.
Подписанный сегодня договор о всеобъемлющем партнерстве предусматривает в том числе оказание взаимной помощи в случае агрессии против одного из участников этого документа. Это касается политической, торгово-инвестиционной, культурно-гуманитарной области, а также в сфере безопасности.
우리 두 나라 사이의 관계는 동맹 관계라는 새로운 높은 수준에 올라섰으며 이러하여 조선민주주의인민공화국과 러시아 연방의 공동利益에 부합되게 지역과 세계 평화와 안전 환경을 굳게 수호하면서 강력한 국가를 건설하려는 두 나라 지도부의 원대한 구상과 인민들의 세계적 염원을 실현시킬 수 있는 법적 기틀을 마련되었습니다.
Somebody said something so funny in the chat. They said Putin playing chess, Biden playing bingo. That is so true. That is so true. That's funny though. So it's quite interesting. So I'm gonna read some of the report in Seoul, South Korea. The new, and I'm gonna share the screen with you so y'all can. So I'm gonna read just a little bit, and I'm gonna drop the link down at the bottom so you can finish reading the article. But I want to call this part out. It says the new agreement between Russia and North Korea, reached by their leaders in Pyongyang summit, requires both countries to use all available means to provide immediate military assistance in the event of war. North Korean state media said Thursday. Both North Korea Kim Jong-un and Russia Vladimir Putin had decided the deal reached had described the deal reached Wednesday as a major upgrade of bilateral relationships, covering security, trade, investments. I don't know what this person is saying. So let me finish reading. I was looking at a comment. Okay, so covering trade, investment, culture, humanitarian ties. Outside of observers said it could mark the strongest connection between Moscow and Pyongyang. I think that's how they pronounce it. Since the end of the Cold War, the North's official Korean Central News Agency on Thursday, that was a lot of words, reported. Even though I was looking at Wayfair, I don't need that up there. Okay, thank you very much. Reported the language of the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership Agreement. Them a lot of words too. The agency said Article 4 of the agreement stated that if one of the countries gets invaded and is pushed into a state of war, the other must deploy all means at its disposal without delay to provide military and other assistance. I wanted to read that part right there. I'll drop the rest of the article down there for you to see it. Now, keep in mind, Biden is now not Biden, but Putin is now got the relationship with North Korea tight. He has another relationship he's building. Let me just go straight to it. Hold on. Vietnam. People forget Vietnam's still beefing, I think, with the US from the war. Um, let's see. So let me see. So what y'all don't realize is Vietnam and the US have had beef. You got the Vietnam War. So what Russia is literally doing is they are building an alliance with other countries. So not only are they building alliances with pretty much Russia is building alliances with people that's beefing with the US. Slick got a little beef with the US. So I'm gonna play this for you. Fair use. Um, Let me stop this little commercial. What people don't realize is right now this stuff is getting real interesting. So right now, Vietnam, I'm gonna read the little caption that says Vietnam to welcome Russia's Putin day after skipping Ukraine's peace summit. So Vietnam skipped, bounced and said, we're not coming to y'all summit. Ukraine peace summit, they weren't coming. They skipped it to come and sit and talk to Putin. Putin is playing a game. Somebody said Putin is playing chess while the rest of the countries are playing bingo, especially Biden. Biden is holding on by, that whole thing right there. Don't know what the day is. But let's see. Let me share my screen. Now, another part of this that I haven't talked about yet is right now, Israel is pissed off with the U.S. because the U.S. right now, Israel is in trouble. U.S. is trying to cut ties, and they're saying we ain't sending you no more arms. The damage is done. What do you mean you're not sending no more arms? Because right now everybody's scurrying and trying to figure out what to do. They scurrying like little mice. So this doesn't look good. Like he's literally Putin is going from country to country, from country to country. It's almost like an episode of almost like movies Blues Brothers. Y'all remember Blues Brothers when he kept going trying to get the band back together and they kept going from city to city. They went to the one city where Aretha Franklin's husband was, and they went to another city and they got the other guy that was. So it's literally like the Blues Brothers trying to get the band back together. They are literally getting the band back together or getting the band together by implementing these agreements. Like right now, the U.S. is now pretty much isolated. And the thing is, this is years of mistreating what we consider to be third world countries when you were on top of your game. That's why you have to be careful how you treat people when you're on top, because for every season, there's a top, and then there's a time when you're not on top no more. And you're gonna need the people that you kicked at the bottom to come and help you. And that's what happened right now. US never treated people right when they were on top. And now they're losing it, and now they can't get people to come with them anymore. And the people you kicked are pretty much saying, we out. We're going to go with Russia because you didn't treat us right. Came over here, tried to take our country. Came over here, create all these uprisings, and then left us sitting there fighting. Because right now they're in a position where Yemen is giving them that work over the Red Sea. Yemen is not playing. The Houthi is not playing with U.S. in the Red Sea. Like I mentioned earlier, they did not expect the warfare to be that hard. When I talked about it a couple of days ago, they didn't expect for the warfare to be that harsh between them and Yemen because they considered them to be, you know how you look down on people and they looking down on Yemen, and Yemen has been giving them their work because they're saying, you know what, we ain't finna let you come over here and take our stuff no more. You're not gonna do this. We're gonna hold up trade within the Suez Canal, and we're gonna say you're not gonna move anymore. And what's going on right now is they say that this is the worst warring they've seen since World War II. And World War II was pretty bad. So it's a lot going on.
There is.
Hold on, y'all. I got this new spray. I'm scared. Now I have to get to. Now I'm trying to minimize my screen. Okay, y'all. Y'all can't tell me right now. Y'all can't tell me right now that this isn't interesting. Gosh, come on now. Oh, that's what I need to do. Okay. All right. Y'all get my screen right. Y'all can't tell me that this isn't something that the West isn't concerned about. The West loves to play like, oh, we got things here. We're good. Everything's good. Everything's good. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that scene in Good Times when Thelma was standing in front of the couch? She had a dream and the couch was on fire. And she was trying to let everybody know everything's good. Everything's good. And behind her is a fire. And everybody trying to put the fire out but her. That's the U.S. right now. The fire is behind the U.S. All these European nations are trying to put the fire out. U.S. is standing in the world before everybody saying, "Y'all calm down. Everything good." They are panicked right now. They are panicked at this point. They don't know what to do right now. So this is going to be very interesting. I'll say that much. This is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Because Babylon is literally falling. Thank you. Falling. It's falling before our eyes. It is falling before our eyes. And I'm like, wow. I never saw this. I ain't gonna say I never saw it coming. But it's like everything is moving fast. Fast. It's not moving slow anymore. It's like today we see this. Today we see this. Tomorrow we see this. We're seeing all this stuff happening. Not to mention, like I said, what's going on with these other countries right now. But you got North Korea aligning with Russia. Vietnam is most likely, if they haven't already, is going to align with Russia. You have China right now. You have Iran. You have Saudi Arabia. But Saudi Arabia technically has aligned with them because they literally said we're pulling out of the petrodollar. So Saudi Arabia is out. You got Iraq. I think Iraq is going to mention if he hasn't already. You got all these countries aligning. And then you have the European Union standing there trying to keep it together. And they're not going to be able to keep it together. Being honest, they not. So, hold on. Fair use. Y'all, this alliance has got them shaking in their boots. And there's, like I said, there's nothing they can do. Not at all. This alliance, China's alliance with Russia, was the beginning of the end. It really was. It really was. And as much as they don't want to admit it, this is the cause. This is going to be the downfall and their demise. Oh. But y'all, I'm telling y'all. Oh shoot! Somebody just texted me. I did not know today was Ashonda's lunch party. I promise y'all, I've been so disconnected. So my apologies, y'all. I have not been online today, really, other than looking at stuff at looking at stuff online to purchase. So trying to get a trip together. But y'all, with that being said, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Like I said, and then not to mention, let's go straight to it. Y'all, this new little portable monitor right now is my best friend. It's me best friend. Hold on. Israel is pissed off with the U.S. Have y'all heard that? Have y'all heard it? Have y'all heard about it? Israel is literally pissed off. I saw that today. And today I have been still looking at the news and stuff, but yeah, they fighting it out. So Bibi and Biden are fighting it out right now. So I'm gonna show y'all a video.
Well, the White House is disputing reports that a high-level meeting was canceled between U.S. and Israeli officials in Washington this week.
These reports follow Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accusing the U.S. of withholding weapons from his military. The Israeli Prime Minister issued harsh remarks in this video on Monday. Netanyahu said it's inconceivable that the U.S. has withheld weapons and ammunition to Israel over the past few months. He suggested the delay in receiving support is slowing his country's offensive in Rafah. The White House says it doesn't know what the prime minister is speaking about.
Let's bring in now CBS News foreign correspondent Chris Livesay from Tel Aviv. Chris, what more can you tell us about this meeting that maybe was or wasn't supposed to happen, and then more generally where things stand for the partnership between the U.S. and Israel?
Hey, Errol and Lana. Yeah, there's clearly a lot of frustration behind closed doors that's now spilling out into the open. You know, it's not the first time we've seen divisions like this between the United States and Israel. The Biden administration for months has been expressing some of its frustrations with just the conduct of the war, especially when it comes to the offensive in Rafah. The first thing I thought when I saw this video from Benjamin Netanyahu was, so this is the prime minister without his war cabinet. Because remember, earlier this week, he dissolved his war cabinet after one of the leading opposition members in that cabinet stepped down. Earlier on in the war, it was supposed to be this institution to show unity throughout Israel with this team of rivals working together. Now, Benjamin Netanyahu is more isolated than ever before, and he no longer has somebody like Benny Gantz to point the finger at when things aren't going his way, when perhaps frustrations are rising in the country over the fact that we're now in the 9th month of this war and there's still 120 hostages being held by Hamas. So who else?
When I tell you right now, I think the whole European Union right now is feeling the backlash of their decisions. They're feeling the backlash of their feelings, their decisions. Hold on. So this is where we are.
Can Benjamin Netanyahu blame but Biden and the White House?
Meantime, Chris, the Israeli military says it's approved an operational plan for an offensive in Lebanon. And you've been reporting on the growing tit-for-tat exchanges with Iranian-backed Hezbollah militants in the region. What do we know about this potential plan and Israel expanding operations along its northern border at a time like this?
Right. It's certainly a very tense moment. There have been these tit-for-tat exchanges now going on for the past several days. You know, when it comes to Israel, one way or another, this has to stop. What I mean by that is either diplomatically or militarily. The main reason is because you have 125,000 Israelis who are internally displaced. Most of them are from along the border with Lebanon because of these exchanges of fire that have been happening since October 7th. In fact, Israel came very close to launching a full-scale invasion of southern Lebanon. At the same time, it responded to those attacks of October 7th. And so it's always been kind of on a hair trigger because in the meantime, you have all of these Israelis who can't go back to their homes, entire communities that have just been emptied. So Israel is trying to resolve this. In the meantime, it's very expensive for individuals and also for the government to take care of these displaced people. And so this plan is Israel's way of saying, look, one way or another, we hope it's diplomatically, but if it has to be militarily, we're ready to respond.
All right, Chris Livesay joining us from Tel Aviv. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
I'm a therapist who goes to therapy, and some people think that's strange. The thing is, though,
Got me a little chlorophyll, drinking that right now. But y'all, I'm just sitting back watching. I'm enjoying watching this. I'm enjoying watching this. I am. Y'all know I'm country as can be. This is going to be. Let me see. Let's find a few more videos to watch. This is going to be an interesting time. It's going to get to the point where I'm just going to be talking and playing videos. That's how crazy it is right now. Oh, it's so much going on. It's an escalation. Neither. Oh my gosh. It says escalation. Neither side would be able to withhold whatever the limits are. So it says, see, I told y'all while I'm in the middle of a live, something to pop off. So y'all want to watch it, see what's going on with this? Let's see, y'all. To my newbies, this is how we do it. I might keep going off script. I might keep going, but I'm gonna get off script every blue moon when all this type of stuff is going on. So let's play this real quick. Fair use. Fair use.
Al Jazeera from reporting from there. So Hamda Salhut joins me now from the Jordanian capital, Amman. Hamda, talk us through what we've now been hearing from the Israelis.
Well, we've been hearing from Israel's defense ministry as well as the army chief of staff. Let's begin with that meeting at the Kiryat in Tel Aviv. That's Israel's version of the Pentagon. It's the defense ministry where we did have a situational assessment held by Yoav.
I forgot to tell y'all that Iron Dome that they have in Israel is not working out for them right now. Hezbollah didn't broke some stuff to the point that Iron Dome is. I've heard that the Iron Dome is not working the way it normally works, where it is detecting bombs before they come in. Yeah, they said Hezbollah has not held back.
Yoav Gallant, the country's defense minister, along with several generals from Israel's Northern Front Command and the Army Chief of Staff Herzi Halevi. Now, in a readout from the Defense Ministry, Gallant had emphasized that Israel is looking to combat the Iranian drone threat in all possible ways and that Israel should be prepared for all possible scenarios. Additionally, the Army Chief of Staff has said that Israel is preparing itself on the ground to the maximum highest alert and that they are ready for a wide range of possibilities, ready to make what he's calling the right decision. Now, all of this comes as Herzi Halevi, the military chief of staff, was touring Israel's north earlier today, essentially downplaying the video that Hezbollah had showed nearly 10 minutes long, showing sensitive military areas within northern Israel and even showing Iron Dome missile defense batteries. Now, Halevi there was saying that Hezbollah is, quote, not aware of the military capabilities that Israel still has, and that any capabilities Hezbollah has, Israel's are greater. But the reality of the situation is we actually don't know what kind of military and weapons capabilities Hezbollah has because we haven't really seen it. So the army is downplaying what is going to happen next, really, with Hezbollah. But it is worth mentioning that the generals from Israel's Northern Command who did approve these new battle and attack plans for what they're calling an offensive in Lebanon were at this meeting with Yoav Gallant, in which they're saying they are prepared for war.
Well, all the latest from the Israeli side there from Hamda Salhut. A reminder, as I was saying earlier, the Israeli government has banned Al Jazeera from operating Israel. That's why.
Y'all, I am eating my popcorn watching this right now. This is how interesting it is right now. I'm eating popcorn and I'm watching because this is I can't cuss because they told me I can't cuss no more. But it is going down right now. That's all I gotta say. But they say I can't cuss no more. I gotta stop cussing. I'm working on that. The elders of the church say I stop cussing. I ain't even really cussing, but yeah. I'm just joking about I do need to stop cussing. But this is about to go down. I can't say the other part.
Why Hamda was joining us there from neighboring Jordan. Well, let's bring in Marwan Bashara, Al Jazeera senior political analyst. He's joining us today from Paris. Marwan, what do you make of the threats we're hearing from both Hezbollah and Israel? How close are we to all-out war here?
We don't know. I mean, that's the short answer, right? But certainly we are getting closer and closer to it because of the escalation that's going on. And every time there is an escalation, we all jump in and say, well, here we are. We're getting closer to perhaps an all-out war because even if they're not intended to do it intentionally, basically, they could still happen by mistake, right? By some major killing of major proportions of people in Lebanon or in Israel, and that will simply lead to an escalation because neither side will be able to simply, withhold whatever the limits are. But again, we've been there and we've been said that. We've been saying that the past, several months. I remember with each time, that American Israeli envoy came to Lebanon back in, November, January and March, and this is the fourth time. Around those times, there was always a bit of an escalation, and we talked about the threat of a widening war. Now, the thing that you hear from Hezbollah is basically an attempt not to go to an all-out war. That's why you hear such screaming, such warning, such threat, because it's meant to be as a deterrence. If you go out on all-out war, well, expect an all-out war.
Well, Marwan, Israel is also right now grappling with growing tensions, not only with Hezbollah, but with the U.S. I see the White House has reportedly cancelled a fairly high-level meeting after Netanyahu released that video saying that Washington is withholding military aid. Where is that relation?
Are y'all enjoying this? Watching this with me? Move real. Are y'all enjoying this? This is interesting. This is real interesting. That's all I can say right now. This is getting good. I forget country. It's gooder and gooder. That ain't the word. I know it's not. I'm just joking. But yeah, this is getting real interesting to see how this road gonna roll.
Now.
Welcome to the Waiverhood. With Wavebear, finding
Where is that relationship now?
Okay, so this is, of course, another front. I think we're dealing here with a number of fronts. You and I have spoken earlier about the legal aspect of things, about the geopolitical aspect of things. And with Lebanon, Israel, we're talking about strategy and war. And here, in the case of Israel, US, we're talking about the politics.
Yeah.
It's not about the strategy. It's not about geopolitics. It's about the politics of Netanyahu and his government, the politics of Netanyahu and his systematic, pathological, lying, backstabbing, cheating prime minister, right? So just as he did with Obama, now he's doing with Biden, despite the unprecedented support for Israel by the Biden administration. Netanyahu is clearly preparing for the day after Biden, or preparing for the day after Biden to happen, which is Trump. Because the video that he did could easily be used as propaganda by the Republican Party, by the Trump campaign against Biden, by saying we are, the solid ally of the United States, and we're not getting the weapons we need, even though they've gotten billions upon billions of dollars of weapons, including the 2,000-pound bombs and so on and so forth. So Netanyahu is basically preparing the way forward. If the Biden administration, as we know it, succumbs, and it seems like from Blinken's declaration, it's succumbing yet again to the humiliation of the pathological liar in Tel Aviv, or worse comes to worse, they lash against Netanyahu, but Netanyahu becomes friends with Trump as the election nears.
Marwan, I couldn't help but notice, and in this video, the man who's essentially asking for
Tracy, you're so true. You're so correct about this. That the church is not preparing our people for this. They're, giving them a feel-good sermon right now, and they're not being honest with them, and not telling the truth that it's about to go down. I can't say the word, but it's about to go down. And there's nothing we can do to stop it. This is the hand of the Most High God. This is his hand. He's moving faster and faster and faster. Our people are going deeper and deeper and deeper into sleep. Where the rest of us are like, wake up. Pay attention to your surroundings. It ain't all butterflies and caterpillars and happiness and sun dust and all that. No, all hell is about to break loose. And there's nothing they can do or say. And it's interesting. Our people in church, and they just sleep as sleep can be, and don't see. That's where we're going right now. Yeah, they wait for the rapture. I ain't gonna say the Most High ain't gonna come get us. I believe in that. I think Western colonization is just, Western teachings have just messed it up. So
these 2,000-pound bombs to, quote, finish the job. He's supposedly also the man who the U.S. says has signed up to a ceasefire deal.
But you see, this is the thing, right? I mean, the most recent report this morning from the New York Times, right, underlines the fact that Secretary Blinken could not get Netanyahu to state unequivocally that he supports the proposal. Imagine, after all the back and forth, since 11th of May, and later on, since the UN resolution was adopted by the UN Security Council, and still there is no clear statement from Israel, public or apparently private, because Blinken kept telling us and the rest of the world that, in fact, Netanyahu is on board. But in the New York Times report this morning, no, it's not clear at all that Netanyahu is on board with the American proposal, with the UN Security Council resolution. So once again, we are dealing with a pathological liar. He made a career out of his lying since he first became prime minister in 1996. Every single Israeli politician today can testify to the fact that he was either stabbed in the back by him or lied to him. Even his finance minister, right? Smotrich, the sort of the radical of the radical, the fanatic of the fanatics in Israel, the most close to radical to Netanyahu today. Smotrich have called Netanyahu the liar of all liars. So you can imagine that, you know, the idea that Netanyahu would stab Biden in the back after 8 months of unconditional support, after the Biden administration going out of its way to do basically everything possible, including, excuse my expression, prostituting itself in favor of Israel's war crimes in Gaza. And still, that's not even enough for the man sitting in Tel Aviv, Mr. Netanyahu, who is more than capable to step over anyone, everywhere, for his career and his for fanatical program in Israel.
Al Jazeera's senior political analyst, Marwan Bashara, joining us again. Thank you very much, Marwan.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.
And y'all don't get it twisted. All hell is breaking loose right now in Israel. The only difference is, like, news groups like Al Jazeera is no longer able to get in there and actually record what's going on in Gaza. They are literally banned out of Israel. They can't go to the West Bank. They can't go nowhere. They're out of Israel. So a lot of the news, I would say major news groups within the YouTube community are no longer. I don't think nobody can go in there right now. So they're not reporting it. So that's why we're not seeing anything right now. And the thing is, that's the goal. If they don't see it, they'll think it's going to go away. No, it's still fresh on people's brain. There are other ways for people to be able to figure things out and find out what's going on. But this is going to be interesting. I know I keep saying that, but that's the most I can say. That's the most I can say right now. Y'all, hold on. I'm slowly but surely getting my voice back. Hold on. What's the benefits of drinking chlorophyll? Because I got some chlorophyll and I'm drinking it and it's good. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Oh my goodness. So Malaysia, y'all, if you dig as much as you're going to find something. So it looks as if Malaysia is joining BRICS and ending the long-standing ending their relationship. Putin is playing chess while the rest of the girls are playing Yahtzee. They playing something other than what Putin is playing. And right now you see it all falling apart. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. Oh. Fair use. I'm going to play a little bit of this, y'all. Fair use. Fair use.
Hezbollah says his fighters are ready in case of a war with Israel. In a televised speech, Hassan Nasrallah said that the group has boosted its troop numbers and also received equipment from abroad. He also said that his group would fight without any rules. Nasrallah also threatened Cyprus, saying that the country would embroil itself in conflict if it opened its bases to Israel.
The enemy knows that there will be no a single place inside Israel away from our missiles. It will not be sporadic missiles. It will be targeted missiles that will drop inside the Zionist entity. And our evidence is the Hopo videos. They know that we have bank of real targets inside Israel, in the Arab Sea. Our brothers in Yemen are doing their efforts regarding, but when you open a war with Lebanon, the Mediterranean will be something difficult. All shores, all the ships, and they know that the Israelis cannot defend themselves at all in such a situation, and the battle will be big. The Cyprus government must be aware that opening the Cyprus bases and airports for Israel to target Lebanon means that the Cyprus government will be part of the war, and the resistance will deal with the Cyprus government, in this case, as a partner in this war.
Zain Khora has more for us from Beirut.
We are not afraid. Threats of a full-blown war do not scare us. We are prepared.
Y'all. Yep, the needs. The needs.
It is the enemy who should be afraid, because nowhere in Israel will be safe. Those were the words of Hassan Nasrallah, Hezbollah Secretary General, in a defiant speech amid heightened tensions between the Lebanese armed group and Israel. A conflict has been raging along the border for 8 months now, triggered by the war in Gaza. Israel really has been threatening as of late that it intends to widen this conflict, widen the war if Hezbollah does not pull back from the border. The message from Nasrallah was one of defiance. He even boasted on the group's capabilities, claiming that they had more than 100,000 fighters and that they have new weapons, and they would manufacture their own missiles and drones. In fact, he went as far as to tell the Israelis that the war between wars, that is Israel's strikes in Syria. Israel has been carrying out strikes in Syria for years now to try to degrade the capabilities of Iran and its allies, just did not work. So defiant and strong words from Hezbollah, Israel too, talking tough. But Nasrallah had a strong warning to the Cypriot government, claiming that the Israeli military has been carrying out maneuvers in Cyprus and is planning to use ports and airports and other facilities in the event of a war with Lebanon, in the event that Hezbollah targets airports and ports in Israel. And Nasrallah telling the Cypriot government, you will be considered a legitimate target. So really, the stakes are high in this escalating conflict along the border, a conflict that the U.S., the Biden administration is saying that, this is a very serious situation. Zain Khora, Al Jazeera, Beirut.
Yeah, family, this is a girl serious. He said this war is gonna widen. That's what BB said. That means it's gonna go beyond where they're fighting now. We are at the beginning of World War III, I think, y'all. I'm only saying I think because I don't want any trouble about speculating and saying something in an absolute type form. I'm not saying it as an absolute. I'm saying this sounds like we're in a little bit of a war, WW3-ish situation. So, but there is no 400-year prophecy. Thank you.
Well, earlier I spoke to Ibrahim Moussawi. He represents Hezbollah in the Lebanese parliament. I asked him about Hezbollah's warning to the Cypriot government not to cooperate with the Israeli military.
The Cypriot part is taking part in the military battle. If we know this is information, this is what Sayyid Nasrallah divulged and disclosed now, that if they are going to be part of the war against us, if they are going to give their own airports to be used by the war jets, Israeli war jets, then the resistance in Lebanon would consider them targets, and they would be full partners with the Israelis, and they have to assume the responsibility and take the repercussions of what they are doing.
You've talked there about a line that you view Cyprus crossing if it allows the use of bases. So let me ask you then, what is Hezbollah's red line? Israel is saying that it's ready for all-out war. What would be a threshold that would be crossed that would then mean that Hezbollah would be in all-out war?
We will respond to anything that the Israelis do that will bring us closer to a out-all war. We will respond not in kind and inequality. We will go over what they'll do. They'll be surprised when they see what kind of repercussions their actions and their aggressions would entail over them.
Well, the Israeli government has banned Al Jazeera from reporting from there. So Hamda Salhut joins me now from the Jordanian capital, Amman. Hamda, I understand there's been no reaction yet to Nasrallah's speech from Israel, but the military has been making comments. Tell us more about what they've been saying.
Well, before we get into what the Israeli military has been saying, let's first start out with a readout from Israel's defense ministry that came out just in the last few minutes. Israel's defense minister, Yoav Gallant, holding a situational assessment with the Army Chief of Staff, Herzi Halevi, and top generals in Israel's Northern Front Command, meaning that these are the people who approved what they're calling new battle and attack plans for an offensive in Lebanon just last night. Now, Yoav Gallant stressed that the Israeli army needs to deal with the Hezbollah drone threat specifically very soon, and that in this meeting, the Israeli Army Chief of Staff had also said that Israel has increased its readiness and is prepared to make the right decisions. Additionally, the Army Chief of Staff, Herzi Halevi, was touring Israel's north today and spoke to Army troops on the ground near an Iron Dome missile defense battery, one of which was showcased in that Hezbollah video that we saw that was nearly 10 minutes long, that showcased, in fact, several Iron Dome batteries. He said that Israel is prepared for an all-out war with Hezbollah, and he essentially downplayed the video that the group had released the day earlier, saying that Hezbollah is, quote, not aware of all of the capabilities that Israel has, and that whatever capabilities Hezbollah has, Israel's are greater. But it is worth mentioning, we don't exactly know what kind of weapons capabilities Hezbollah has. So the Israeli army says that they have an obligation to return all of the evacuated people from the towns and settlements in the north back to that area. But again, the Israeli army, as well as the defense ministry, saying they're high alert and ready to make the correct decisions in this offensive.
Hamda Salhut there with all the very latest for us. A reminder, we have been banned from reporting from Israel. So Hamda was joining us there from the Jordanian capital, Amman.
I love how she snuck that in there. They have literally banned Al Jazeera out of Israel. Not allowed to. They're not even allowed to be there right now. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's something. I'll say that much. As we get closer and closer and closer to the end of the year, there's a lot going on. It's not just what's going on with the war. We got an election going on. I just saw online today that purchasing houses is at an all-time low they've never seen before because houses are so expensive. So the economy, the housing market, pretty much is one of the some of the indicators that the economy is at its wit's end, and we really are. Overpriced houses, that at one time probably was $100,000 houses, and now I'm pricing at 400,000. So people aren't buying houses. So the economy is shot to the curb. I ain't gonna tell you that. We're getting ready to possibly go to a war. Then we got presidential election coming up. It's like choosing the lesser of the two evils. It's crazy. It's a lot going on. So with that said, I'm gonna keep doing segments like this. They won't be 3 hours and 4 hours long. They'll be an hour. Pop up. We'll talk through it, and then I go. I might do a couple of 2-3 hour sessions. But for now, I'm just gonna do an hour. So I'm creeping up on that hour, y'all. But with that being said, well, I'm already at the hour. Do your research, y'all. Keep doing your research. Keep doing your due diligence, because you're gonna see what's going to transpire. And you got to be prepared. You got to watch as well as pray. While we're praying, we need to be watching and paying attention to our surroundings and figuring out what's going on around the world. Yeah, I feel a little bit better. My voice is still groggy. I took a little medicine for my allergies, and I'm starting to feel sleepy now. Uh, but y'all, thank y'all for your prayers. My voice is yet coming back. So, did you see the story where the white killed black people? I saw that. So we gonna this right here. Did you see the story about the white man planning to kill black people in Atlanta before the election to start a race? I heard about that. Maybe we can talk about that, but y'all, this is interesting. I'm getting ready to go to bed so I can preserve my voice and be able to do another session. I won't be doing anything Friday because I have some traveling to do, but I should be back to normal by Saturday. I'm probably do something tomorrow night. To compensate for not being able to do anything on this weekend, a whole lot. But let's keep this going, y'all. Let's keep this momentum going. Let's keep doing our research. But I'm gonna talk about the white man in Atlanta. He was attempting to do. I'm gonna talk about that later. But yeah. Well, family, thank y'all so much for y'all support. Love y'all so much. I'm getting sleepy. I'm getting ready to go to bed. Y'all can hear it in my voice. But okay, well, thank y'all again. All right. Y'all bless and good night.